Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day. Welcome to EP Live, everybody. It's great to have you here. We are going to dedicate this show to a brand new member, Jonathan McFowle. Thank you so much for joining the EPN. I guess we're calling it the EP Posse or something like that, or the EPN Posse. I like that. Graham Coombe also says Vic is truly a pundit in the video game world. Am I right? I guess I made some silly puns. The Alaskan says, they say it's your birthday. It's my birthday too, yeah. I think that was on This Day and Everything Cool video we posted the other day. Thank you all so much. Let's get started with your rundown. Red Dead Redemption 2 is looking even cooler than we thought. This morning, Rockstar Games released the second lengthy gameplay video from their new Old West adventure. It emphasizes the importance of side missions and activities in the game, with players able to go off and do pretty much anything they want inside the massive open world. The new video also gives us our first look at the optional first-person mode, as well as the new and improved Deadeye shooting system, which lets you target more enemies. Red Dead Redemption 2 arrives October 26th, as if we had to tell you guys when Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out. This is the month where Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out, which is incredible. I cannot believe this is real. It's happening, people. We are going to be playing this thing so soon. And yes, it looks absolutely outstanding. This is, I think a labor of real passion and love from the Rockstar developers out there. I think GTA is their proven moneymaker, and I think Red Dead has done very well for them, but I don't think it's going to be, and it's going to be pitted against Grand Theft Auto, which is kind of unfair to Red Dead Redemption, but I have always felt this about the Red Dead franchise. It's just something that they adore and love and want to continue to explore. I don't know if this is going to be that same kind of iterative franchise like Grand Theft Auto is for Rockstar, though, especially if shareholders sort of have expectations that this is going to do what that Grand Theft Auto did. But certainly, the first Red Dead Redemption was a big hit, and this is going to be solid content for us to all explore and dive into, and I think it's been made with love, and I think it's going to have so much style and panache and so many rewards. I can't wait to jump in. It looks like Fox might be having some trouble with their new X-Men projects. The studio has delayed the release of several big Marvel mutant movies. First up, Dark Phoenix, which just got its first trailer last week, has been pushed back from February 2019 to June 2019. Usually when a studio moves a film into the summer, it's because they're confident it will be a hit, but this isn't the first big delay for the film. It was originally slated to land this past summer before being delayed in order to go through costly reshoots. Another mutant movie, Gambit, which still doesn't have a director, has been pushed from summer 2019 to spring 2020. Now for some good news. Fox has announced a surprise new Deadpool release slated to hit theaters on December 21st this year. It's a new family-friendly holiday version of Deadpool 2, edited down to a PG-13 rating, complete with new scenes featuring Ryan Reynolds and Fred Savage. Expect more details on that soon. Now this is crazy. It does feel like Fox is kind of scrambling, trying to figure out what they have that they can kind of plot for and plan for. I've expressed, I guess some ideas that if they can't really make a big hit out of what's coming up in the X-Men universe, it's time to kind of let the MCU reboot everything and recast everything. I'll be a little bit sad about that because the cast members that they've got, especially the new crew that first assembled for First Class, they're pretty solid. They've got some good choices in there. Dark Phoenix was kind of an underwhelming trailer, and I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I think it has more to do with wanting to kind of make as much money as possible from this, and they think summer is going to be a better deal for that. But if it's not a massive success, if it doesn't get into that $1 billion range, which I think is what you expect when you have this many stars in a movie like this, I think Disney and Marvel are going to say, well, come on, let us take this over. Let's do this right now. We can do it. All right, speaking of the other huge Disney franchise, the Star Wars franchise might have stumbled a bit, but it's not changing leadership anytime soon. Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy has reportedly renewed her contract for another 3 years, which will see her stay in charge of the Star Wars franchise until at least 2021. This might come as a bit of a surprise. There had been speculation that Lucasfilm's parent company, Disney, would replace Kennedy after the divisive reception of The Last Jedi and the poor box office showing of Solo. So this means they're sticking with her for now. Kennedy was appointed head of Lucasfilm by founder showrunner George Lucas shortly before selling the company to Disney in 2012. Kathleen Kennedy won't just be overseeing new Star Wars movies, she'll also be producing the new Indiana Jones, having produced all the previous films in the series. That's due in 2021. And I think that this contract renewal has more to do with finishing up what is sort of already in the works at Lucasfilm and with Star Wars and under that sort of umbrella that Disney has crafted there. And I don't think anybody else wants to come in and sort of steer the ship right now. I think that there might be some frustration on Kathleen Kennedy's part as well as on Disney's part to kind of make some changes here. But I don't think it's time yet because they've got all of these projects in the pipeline. First up, of course, is Episode 9 next year, and that has all of the weight of trying to bring back fans that were pissed off with Episode 8. And then, yes, that Indiana Jones movie that has been sort of in gestation for a long time does seem to be going before cameras pretty soon, and that's been a part of her purview as well. So I think this has more to do with just making sure that she's stuck with the projects that are already in the works. But I do get the sense that Disney is starting to think about other ways to approach all of it. I mean, they've publicly said they're slowing down on movies. It's pretty hard to, place all blame on this super producer and say that it's all her fault or whatever, Obviously, she has a lot of responsibility, but I don't think she makes every single decision and every single story choice on every one of these things. She obviously trusts a lot of creators, and I think she's obviously pissed off a lot of creators with all of the backstage shenanigans, but she's helped to deliver incredible movies in her career, and I don't like to see her getting all kinds of internet hate as if she's the reason why Rian Johnson made the choices that he did. And same for Rian Johnson. He made choices. A lot of them are very controversial, but he doesn't deserve to have our hatred. He's made some decisions that I think a lot of us feel like, what the hell, man? That's ridiculous, or we're pissed off about it. But it's sort of George Lucas, and he doesn't deserve hatred either, So, anyways, let's see what happens after Episode 9. I think that's going to be a very big turning point for Star Wars, and I hope it's fantastic. All right, Minecraft is looting a few ideas from Diablo. Over the weekend at the annual Minecon event, developer Mojang and their parent company Microsoft announced an all-new game called Minecraft Dungeons. It's a Diablo-style dungeon crawler set in the Minecraft world, where teams up to 4 players will work together for survival, and because it's Minecraft, you'll be able to find and craft new weapons and items to help you along the way. Minecraft Dungeons is slated to land next year on the PC, although there's no word yet on other platforms. This game looks pretty cool, and I think it's great that Microsoft, obviously they spent like billions on getting this brand and this license and this technology and this community. I think it's great that they're saying, well, look, we need to kind of diversify here. That Minecraft story mode game that they worked on with Telltale was pretty cool, and I think this is a perfect fit. It does feel like that's kind of a mod or kind of a game that actually could be built within the traditional Minecraft, so hopefully there's lots and lots of extended value and lots of different reasons why we would want to play this, as opposed to just jumping into Diablo or one of its many clones out there. But I do think this is great news, and I'm excited to check it out. I'm also excited for all of you Minecraft diehards out there that get more to play in the universe, which is great. All right, you guys, that's going to do it for the rundown. Let's get started with this day in everything cool. Welcome to This Day and Everything Cool for October 1st. On this day in 1974, a new face of terror was unleashed in theaters. The horror movie, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, got its world premiere in Austin and continued rolling out in theaters across the U.S. in the months that followed. Directed by Tobe Hooper, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre tells the story of 5 teenagers who stumble into the clutches of a sadistic cannibal family in rural Texas, complete with the insane chainsaw-wielding head cook Leatherface. Tobe Hooper had wanted to make a horror film for years after seeing movies like Psycho, but thanks to his background in documentary filmmaking, the movie ended up having a much more visceral tone than most horror movies, with handheld shots, realistic locations, and unrelenting violence. Because it was unlike any other horror movie at the time, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre became a huge hit with audiences and helped kick off a whole new genre, the slasher. Mask-wearing villains like Leatherface, who terrorized teenagers, became the dominant kind of horror movie for decades. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre also helped start another horror trend, the crappy sequel. The film has received many sequels, spin-offs, and remakes over the years, most of which are basically tripe and don't come anywhere near the quality of the original. Let's go from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre to a cute little robot boy, shall we? But it's good to see everybody here. Tasty Crayon, Carrie Dustin, Man of Valor 76, Tyler Fisher. It's great to see you guys. I love that we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in our this day and everything cool. I think that's hilarious. Okay, I have been playing a lot of games. 'Tis the season after all. Lots of VR stuff and lots of big, huge games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which I'm hoping to have some thoughts for you of tomorrow. But Megaman 11 also took my attention. I played that with my kid, and she enjoyed it very much. We both got sweaty palms as we were playing Megaman 11, and it was interesting because usually when I beat a boss or I get past a level or something like this, I go over to my kid and I ask for a high five. She's always right there with one. But we got intense playing Mega Man 11. It is an incredibly tough and challenging experience, which we have come to expect with Mega Man games. But there's an element of cheapness in this title as well. You know, you've landed on the spikes, you're dead, you got to start over again. But it felt like, I don't know, the checkpoints were very far apart from each other. It felt like there was a lot of just making it to the boss and then dying, you know, because the bosses were challenging and they've got lots of great ones in here. I mean, if you want to talk about the art style, first of all, before I start getting into too many of the complaints, the art style is terrific. They've obviously modernized everything, so it's not the old pseudo 8-bit or 16-bit style stuff that we have seen in lots of homages to Mega Man, but also in previous Mega Man games developed by Capcom as well. They've gone with a whole new, much more Saturday morning cartoon style to Mega Man, and it works. It looks great. And because the art has changed, you worry if the mechanics are going to feel like they've been sort of screwed around with a little bit too much, but they haven't. And it's a little weird when you're playing the game because you think that there would be some massaging on some of the mechanics and give you some flexibility so you don't have to be sort of pixel precise on every jump that you make, but they haven't. So, you know, when you jump and you bounce off the top of a roof or the top of the ceiling on a level and then you miss the ladder because you're not pressing up as you jump, there's a lot of that. You know, it doesn't really give you any kind of floatiness or give you any breaks. There's lots of challenges, which is okay. But it does take a little bit to kind of get used to as you're playing the game because it looks like it's going to be a little bit more forgiving and accessible and cutesy than it is. And I got to tell you, I had so many close call moments and so many moments of frustration that I said, look, if I'm going to see these bosses through and I'm going to beat them and I'm going to start to, get a little bit further in the game, I got to dumb down the difficulty. So full confession, I did do that. But it allowed me to kind of eat big chunks of all of the mechanics and the game and the unlockables and, of course, all of the cool gadgets that you get by beating the bosses. And the bosses are fun. I love Tundra Man. Who gives us a kind of like this ice cyclone, very powerful. Block Man, some blocks fall out of the sky and bash everybody on the head. Acid Man shoots acid. There's the what is it? The fire guy. I forget what the fire guy is, but he's got this giant sort of meteorite thing that shoots out and then falls down on different characters. Thought that character was great. Bounce Man was a fun boss, but an incredibly frustrating level. Holy crap, you're bouncing off of all of these sort of pinball balls, and you're bouncing off the sides of the walls and bouncing and trying to press the jump button to go a little bit higher. You know, we've done this before in many 2D titles before, but I was just bouncing all over the place, and I just couldn't get the mechanics until I did, and then when I did, it was like, good God, I never want to see that sequence again. I never want to play through that bit again. But once you got to the boss, then you had this extra cool ability of shooting all these bouncy balls at bad guys that were super powerful. So worth the effort, and definitely cool aesthetics, sort of powering up and switching between the different suits was super fun as well. I enjoyed the hell out of just getting lost in this sort of cutesy, accessible world. And I can tell you that my kid did as well, but she also picked up on Daddy holding in the swears. Like I was really trying not to throw my controller around. But you know what? I powered through and I still had a really good time with it. And I know that diehards out there, they're a little trepidatious because Mega Man hasn't had such a great run, and we were all kind of disappointed with Mighty Number 9 a little bit. With sort of current gen, with the stuff that is achievable now. And I don't think that this is such a it's certainly not the revolution that Mega Man kind of deserves. It's such a great character. And over the weekend, I tweeted about what people's choice is between Mega Man and Metroid. And there's so many similarities, especially in the game style and the way that these games came out of the 8-bit era, and they had some great stuff in the 16-bit era. But Mega Man has not had that. He's had that heart pull, but it hasn't had the gameplay kind of jump that some of his peers have. And it's a little disappointing because this game is good and it taps into that nostalgic kind of vibe that we want out of Mega Man, but it's certainly not Metroid Prime, and I would say it's not even the Metroid Return of Samus game, or was it Samus Returns? Metroid Samus Returns, yes. For the 3DS that came out. It's not even that kind of caliber of 2D game. And I don't think it's like an Owl Boy. I don't think it's like a Shovel Knight even. I just feel like it's decent. It serves up the player base quite well. The bosses are fun. It's got a great art style, but it doesn't really. What it does make you realize is how fantastic the NES versions of Mega Man were, and how much they were a revolution. Getting to the boss was meaningful in a really, really major way, and they were able to kind of keep us. Capcom was able to keep us coming back to that sort of routine over and over again and still make every one of those games really, really rewarding and sensational. Not saying this one isn't, and I think this is going to appease a lot of diehard, longtime Mega Man fans, but I don't think it's got the resonance that the classic Mega Man does, or a lot of the remasters and remakes, and I mean, just look at what Breath of the Wild did for Zelda. It's not like that at all. Mega Man 11, solid, fun. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. And right now, let's go to Buried Treasure. Back on the PlayStation 2, Sony released a very freaky game called Siren, which did have some sequels, over subsequent years. But the original game is still pretty solid. And one of the cool things about Siren is that you can pick it up for the PlayStation 3 as a PS2 classic, or you can pick it up for the PlayStation 4. Siren, I remember, really freaked me out. It took place in this little Japanese village, and you had the ability to sight jack into characters. And you played a bunch of different characters trying to figure things out. You could see these visions and sort of these ethereal kinds of things going on all around you, and it was very freaky. The graphics were super cool, but there was just an atmosphere and a mood and certainly the gameplay was challenging, and there was a lot of kind of trying to memorize different ways to deal with things and lots of trial and error, which got a bit frustrating, and it was a bit clunky, but it was still so evocative and so atmospheric. And I still remember being completely terrified playing this game, and I think it's one of those games that has aged quite well. I know that when they did release it for the PS4, they added some trophy support and some improved visuals. It's definitely one to look back at, especially if you are a fan of survival horror type games, the psychological twisty type survival horror type games. It's absolutely cool, and the sequels got better and better as well. Siren's a cool game. I'm confident you're going to find it a buried treasure as well. All right, you guys, over the weekend, I posted something that I thought was going to be kind of an innocuous tweet, something fun for us to digest and think about, but it seemed to strike a nerve. I posted a GIF of Will Smith from Men in Black holding up that mind wipe thing and basically asking people, what game would you like to have your mind wiped of so that you could play the game again in a whole fresh new way? And I think so far, I can't draw the stats up, but I think I've had like 700 replies to this thing, and which is phenomenal. And I'll give you a list of the some of the ideas that we've had for some of the games that people have been talking about, sort of like Last of Us, I think was one of the ones that everybody was talking about. We've had a lot of Resident Evils. We've had a lot of Metal Gear Solids. And I think the concept here is people want to... and the reason why I came up with this was Spider-Man on the PlayStation 4. I really felt like, oh my God, that was so exhilarating to get lost into that game. But I would love to, just start over and not know where I'm going in this experience. So I got a lot of replies to this. I've got a tweet right up here right now saying, not so much to play it again fresh today, but I'd love to relive the near limitless free time that I had to fully immerse myself in Final Fantasy VII and Ocarina of Time. A lot of Final Fantasy, a lot of Zelda. Jess Zachary 7 said, would say the Halo trilogy, but since that's a trilogy, Nier Automata or Awakening, which is rad. Fire Emblem Awakening pops up again. C. Scott Parker says, I'm excited for... Oh, he was talking about the new Megaman game. I've got a Final Fantasy 15. Got a lot for The Last of Us. I think if I had to pick out of... And I certainly haven't done any kind of database on all of the answers and stuff here, but I think if just from cursory sort of looking at all of the responses there, I think The Last of Us fares really, really high. But I did ask people in the EPN community to send me a video of some of the... ideas that they had. Here's Blair Farrell right now with his choice.
Resident Evil 2 for sure, because I came to that game in late 1999, having only owned the Nintendo 64, and coming off of Super Nintendo games, and then N64, and never really experiencing anything like Resident Evil 2, with its multiple scenarios, haunted corridors, and this grand mystery interconnected in this series. It made me think about games in a way that I never had before, and it made me want to experience games on other platforms coming mostly from a strong Nintendo background.
Warco A also sent me something here as well. No audio?
So that I can play again fresh. Hey, EPN, how's it going? The question was which game I would like to wipe my memory of so that I can play again fresh. I think it has to be Metal Gear 5 Phantom Pain. I love that game. The surprises in it, meeting the skulls for the first time, the mystery, the gameplay loop is just so good. I'd love to play that game again fresh. So
I got one from Faramir right here. Looks like he's dressing the part for The Last of Us right there. Okay.
4, okay. I was like...
There you go.
If I had to pick a game to be wiped, it would have to be Shadow of the Colossus. I tried playing it again on PS4. I played it on PS3, but trying to get it on PS4, I was like, oh, this game is huge, it's wide, but I already knew the twist. The twist in that game was phenomenal. The amazing story that I embarked on, the amazing journey with your horse, with everything, was just the best game I ever played. And I think I saw it on Reviews on the Run, and that's how I knew about it. And that's what drew me in, was when I saw that game, I was like, I gotta get this right away. But PlayStation 2 was the best experience ever, and that's the game I'd love to be wiped and then redo just to experience everything that I did the very first time.
Adrian Leon?
Memory wiped out of to experience it again with a fresh start is Resident Evil 4. Because I really want to experience once again all the scary and fearful surprises that it had. And I would even say the same thing about the first 3 Resident Evil games in any other survival horror action games.
And here's Blade Blur.
Memory to start fresh. Vic, to answer your question of which game I would like to erase for my memory to start fresh, it'll definitely be Resident Evil 4, because I think that any kind of game that has really memorable set pieces, when you play that game again, you kind of know what to expect, and that first wow moment when you experience some of the things in Resident Evil 4 were just moments that will never be able to be replicated again. So I would like to experience that game again with an empty mind, so to say. An honorable mention would be the Metal Gear series, because, come on, it's Metal Gear.
Great stuff, you guys. That's really fantastic. I'm glad that everybody took a chance or took some time to participate with us here. Just my unscientific polling, though, just by sort of perusing some of the replies there, it was crazy. It was just like, wow, I kept getting tons and tons of them. But Last of Us would be number 1. Knights of the Old Republic probably number 2. Resident Evil 2 kept popping up. Undertale, which I think was a bit of a surprise for a lot of people, that that was the one out of all the games, and they sort of let me know in the tweets that I bet you're going to be surprised that it's going to be Undertale, but it's obviously resonated with people in some pretty massive ways. I think a lot of people also shared my love for Spider-Man PlayStation 4 and wanted to see a little bit more from the Spidey universe after they completed it, and it would be amazing to mind wipe and start that whole one again. God of War kept popping up as well, so that's, I think, a round of applause to Sony's first-party teams out there, especially when you're focused on single-player experiences. People want to relive those stories again in some cool new ways without knowing all of the plot points, obviously. Breath of the Wild and Ocarina of Time. Zelda got a lot of love in my replies, and I think Breath of the Wild, I think especially, even though it's not necessarily about the story so much as the experiential kind of elements of the story that you tell and the direction that you tell it, there is something to be said with not knowing what's around every corner in that incredible game. Halo 1 and 2, I think, were the next ones up, or people were talking about the whole Halo trilogy, but a lot of love for where the roots of this franchise came from, what Bungie was able to achieve with a shooter that also imbued all of this, these emotional touch points and this curiosity and this backstory behind all of it. Persona 5, I think, also had a massive impact on a lot of people. I think that Persona in general, it's such a story-driven concept and franchise that people get lost in the worlds that the developers behind Persona always make. Skyrim definitely made a ton of people's lists as well. People were absolutely blown away by a lot of the Elder Scrolls stuff, but I think Skyrim was that elevational element, that game that just shook people, and they didn't realize they wanted to kind of live the first-person kind of Lord of the Rings type fantasy experience like they could with that title. Metal Gear Solid 5 made a lot of lists, which was great. Kind of the swan song for Kojima and his team, but it was also littered with lots of allusions and connections to the lore of Metal Gear, but also its own tight story. It took some controversial choices like Kiefer Sutherland, but the open-ended, open-world gameplay with all of these great narrative moments, fantastic, and also incredible bosses in that game. The Uncharted games, you could pretty much, Uncharted was on this list a ton, and it sort of spread the gamut. A lot for 2, a lot for 4, a lot for just the whole series in general, but this was a single-player, narrative-driven experience for the most part, and then, of course, they got into some multiplayer as well, but this was a series, or has been a game series that has just completely captivated people, and they want to go back. Witcher 3, of course, made the list. I think people are probably still sort of hunting around, no pun intended, in the nooks and crannies of CD Projekt Red's incredibly diverse and massive map out there to see what else is out there, what else they can pull from this game. But I know that this has sucked people in completely and utterly, and there's a massive fan base out there, and people want to kind of wipe everything and start over, which would be crazy if we could do that. Maybe in the future we'll be able to do that. And speaking of future, Mass Effect made the list a ton as well, which is not really a big surprise. BioWare masters at building elaborate interactive stories, characters that are multi-dimensional and fully fleshed out. Really, really cool. And of course, it's had a little bit of a fall back with Andromeda, but the original Mass Effect trilogy, phenomenal stuff. And I, too, would welcome the idea of starting those games over fresh. Now, I did like a tweet, and I forget who it was. Oh, let's see. I might be able to pull this up. Okay. And it's from Caleb, and it was HX Caleb, and he said, I have a 5-year rule with media. After 5 years, you forget all but the key moments and twists of a game, movie, or show. Anytime after 5 years, you will have a pretty fresh experience. And his answer, which I heard over and over again, was Red Dead Redemption as well. And I kind of like that idea, that after 5 years, you can jump back into these experiences, and they will feel mostly fresh to you. I've kind of found that to be the case because obviously I've played a lot of remasters of games that I originally reviewed back on EP or Reviews on the Run years ago, and I think there's some truth in that statement. But we cannot wipe our minds completely of experiences that we've had. But it's a fascinating discussion, and I think the root of the discussion is that you want to share that experience, and there's a little bit of a you tell me if this is true for you, but you feel a little jealous of people that are experiencing something brand new for the first time, and they're getting to dive in and play a game like Spider-Man or something like that for the first time. Anyways, I really appreciate everybody's reply, whether you got to me on Twitter or on Facebook or on our YouTube community, or you sent videos in. All very cool. Great topic of discussion, and I would love, if you haven't replied yet, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. So let me know. But right now we are moving on to we're moving on to another review on the run. This is A Star Is Born.
Good evening.
So I went out and saw one of the biggest movies of the fall. It's called A Star Is Born, and you're wondering why the hell A Star Is Born is on an electric playground. Well, it's because I've heard good things about this movie, and I happen to be a pretty big fan of Bradley Cooper, who not only stars in this movie, but he directs as well. Lady Gaga is famously his co-star in this movie, and it's a remake of a concept that's been in Hollywood for many, many years. There's been at least 3 or 4 versions of A Star Is Born over time, but this one is kind of special. Obviously, it's a modernized update, and it deals with a sort of a rock and roller country star. He's kind of got country roots, a little bit like Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam. That's who Bradley Cooper plays, who falls in love with this quirky rising star, this woman that has unbelievable singing prowess, but also has an innate ability to write some cool songs. And Bradley Cooper just sort of has his radar dish out and sees this woman on stage at this drag bar and hears her singing like you wouldn't believe. She sings this French pop song from ages ago, and Bradley Cooper, who is this rock and roller that everybody knows, he's super famous, he just is also kind of aware of the unique qualities of what Lady Gaga kind of brings to the table, and so he invites her out on stage at one of his huge rock shows. The drama escalates, and there's some pretty heavy stuff that happens in this film, but at the center of it is this beautiful relationship that just sort of happens by accident. And the power of that love and that relationship, I think, is accurately and authentically kind of captured in this movie.
Almost every single person that I've come in contact with in the music industry has told me that my nose is too big and that I won't make it.
Your nose is beautiful.
And what they've done with the way that they've filmed all of this stuff is they've actually taken over at big rock concerts, and they let Bradley Cooper and his crew get up on stage and sing live in front of these massive audiences. And some of the filming that was done to capture these moments is just incredible. Obviously, you've got crane shots and drone shots showing the totality and the magnitudes of these crowds, but we also have these really intimate moments with cameras on stage, particularly when Lady Gaga is walking towards this microphone in front of this massive crowd for the first time, and that was just incredible to see. We haven't really seen that intimacy, on stage for these massive rock performances like this before. I think a lot of the buzz and a lot of the hype around this movie is that Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga sing all of their own stuff. They wrote their own music, and some of the songs I found to be better than others. I guess it's completely subjective. You might like all the music in this movie, you might hate all of it.
Can I tell you a secret? I think you might be a songwriter.
It's an exceptionally well-made movie. I think it looks beautiful. I think the performances are incredible. But the one thing that I had an issue with is I just didn't feel like I got to know the real human of the character that Bradley Cooper is playing. He was fascinating to watch, and I thought he did a great job with that, but I just wanted a little bit more of the, I don't know, the human underneath the performer a little bit. And I'm not talking about Bradley Cooper as the performer, I'm talking about the character that he's playing. You know, maybe the director's cut is going to flesh out the character that Bradley Cooper plays a little bit more, but maybe the message that they're making with the movie is that we're not supposed to know who this character is that much, you know? I felt like we went on a real arc and a real journey with Lady Gaga's character. Her father is played by Andrew Dice Clay, who's actually really good in this movie. Dave Chappelle has a great cameo in here.
It's the first time I'm worried about you.
Listen, there's a lot to dig in and love about A Star Is Born. It is going to win lots of awards. It's getting lots of great reviews already. Definitely worth your time. I had a great time with it. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. All right, you guys, we're going to jump into Let's Play and Chat. We are checking out Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It comes out tomorrow. I've been playing it. I'm about 12 hours in or so. I should have some thoughts for you guys tomorrow. We're going to do EP Live again tomorrow. Now, I didn't want to start my game over completely. So I wanted to just run around inside of the world. There is some music in here. Should I kill the music, or is it... Okay, we'll kill that music. So 1 second here. I didn't want to like start over because it would wipe out all my autosaves and all that stuff. So I'm going to start you roughly where I am playing everything, but I won't do I won't rush to a story mission or anything like that. I'll just sort of run around inside the world and assassinate some people. How does that sound? Does that sound okay? Okay. So I've been playing this on the Xbox One X, and it's got HDR, and it's absolutely stunning. Lifting off on a lot of the learnings from Syndicate and especially from Origins. But what I've really noticed about this game...
Hi, everyone.
Hello, Blake. Is the setting is perfect. The setting... Because Origins was excellent, but it did get a little tedious with how much desert you had to deal with. I mean, it was set in the desert, but it was like, here's some rocks, here's some sand, here's some rocks, here's some sand. When you're running around ancient Greece, and I'll just show you how big the map is.
There'd be a lot more things to climb.
A lot more things to climb, and it's just freaking gorgeous. And it's so massive. Like, I'm telling you guys, there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to visit all these places by the time I have some thoughts on this tomorrow. But look at how many like I am just in this tiny, tiny little section right here, which is massive. And
they might have to change the name of Macedonia.
Yeah, right. Well, this is ancient though, ancient times. But you can sail around it here, and the boat sequences are terrific and everything. But it is just enormous. But it's also not just rock and sand. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Is it gorgeous though, Vic?
Oh, yeah, look at this. And so I'm playing as Cassandra. You can choose to play as a male or a female right out of the get-go. And the story a little bit different for each of the characters. And I've started to hunt down some stuff for my past. I've killed a few people that have pissed me off, but look at this, man. Even on the stream, it still looks pretty damn solid.
Yeah, frame rate's a little choppy on the stream,
yeah.
But yeah, it's fine.
Oh, it's a stunning game. Oh, there's a bear. Should I kill this bear?
No, just leave it. No, it's already dead.
Oh, it's frozen.
No, it's
dead.
dead.
It's a dead bear?
That wolf must
Okay.
have killed it.
Okay. All right.
That was the thing with Origins, because I finished Origins, the story and all the side missions.
Yeah.
Like, I leveled up all the way.
Yep.
And not all the side missions, but all the ones, like, around the main story missions.
Mm-hmm.
And I still had only explored, like, maybe 2/3 of the map.
Yeah, it's
like 2/3 of the map.
so big.
Yeah, 2/3 of the map was still black, because I just hadn't been to it.
Right. I did bop around all of the map in Origins, but I did feel like I was getting exhausted of the scenery. Yep. I mean, look at this. This is just ridiculous, you know. And then the weather systems change, and the rain will come out, or there'll be like lots of cloud and just a spot of sun, but it streams all that the God rays and everything, and it's really been taking my breath away. It's clearly they're taking a break in 2019, but this is clearly like they threw a lot into this sucker. Like this feels like a kitchen sink version of Assassin's Creed, you know? Like everything and the kitchen sink is in this one. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go see the Oracle of Delphi. I mean, if you don't want to see anything of the story, you may not want to watch this little bit here because I don't know what's going to be spoiled. This is all kind of new for me, but tremendous art everywhere. Hopefully it's not too dark. Does it look okay, like brightness-wise?
I mean, you can increase the brightness a bit on yours if you want.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I want you guys to see it all right. Oh, okay. Go to main menu. Options. And what's everybody saying?
I mean, by the time it gets compressed, it's a little bit darker than it would normally be, so...
That looks better.
Yeah, just do that.
Okay. Yeah, that looks better. Yeah, you can see it a bit better. It looks washed out on there, but it looks better on here.
Yeah. Dean Howard is asking, how can he get in touch with us for a request? I think just on Twitter probably or Facebook.
Yeah, Twitter's the except my Twitter's been blown up. So you message me on my I have a fan page on Facebook. It feels weird to say that out loud. I don't usually say those words, but I have a fan page on Facebook, and if you message me there, I'll get it for sure. Or the Electric Playground page on Facebook.
Have you bumped into the aliens yet?
What aliens, Blake?
Oh shit, did I just...
Ixnay on the aliens,
well,
Blake.
That's not a spoiler for this game. That's every Assassin's Creed game. I like that in Origins. The aliens were few and far between.
Yeah.
Or not aliens or ancient humans or whatever the hell stupid thing that they do is.
Okay, I missed what he said, so I gotta pay attention here a little bit because I'm actually progressing in my own game. Does it look okay on the stream?
Yeah, it looks fine.
Pretty good.
Yeah, frame rate's choppy, but nothing we can do about that. Fairmer, question: with the map seeming larger and larger, could they be prepping for an MMO? Well, Fairmer, they've talked about the games as service model, Ubisoft, and how they want pretty much every one of their games to be a games as service, and this is definitely a platform for that. I'm talking to Fairmer.
Okay.
Like you could add to this game.
Okay, plug your ears, guys.
I lost my mother when I was young. I have to find her. Where is she?
It's
if you don't want anything spoiled.
From the visions. The child on the mountain.
How could you know that?
You need to leave. Now.
Leave? Do you have any idea what I've been through to get here?
Oh, but I do. While in Kausos, you didn't cower in the face of the priest. A child and her family still live thanks to you.
But how? No one
this sucks for you because you can't hear anything.
I don't care. I skip. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I skipped through most of the cutscenes in Origins.
Yeah.
Because I don't care.
Child of the mountain.
I've always found the stories in these.
I like this one though. There's something about this one.
They will kill you.
The stories have always been very meh.
The oracle has spoken. The prophecy
Go
is
here,
yours.
kill this guy with a beard, kill that guy with a beard.
This is less like the Forrest Gump, like this is a famous historical character to go into another famous historical character. It's more personal, and I'm digging it.
I've always found it hard to follow the stories, so I just skip them.
Herodotus, you're still here.
Oh, that guy popped in.
Where's Varnavas?
He's gone back to your ship. You don't look happy with your prophecy.
She knew who I was.
She's the Pythia.
Amazing, amazing resolution and
That was no act.
like storytelling technology right here. Gorgeous.
How's the combat compared to Odyssey?
Great.
Is it the same as they use the same RPG kind of?
It is definitely a role-playing game, even more than Origins.
So they double down on that.
Yeah, it's a role-playing game. It's like they played a lot of Breath of the Wild.
Tried to warn me.
Warn you? About what?
She mentioned the cult of Cosmos. Does this mean anything to you?
I'd heard whispers. A cult unlike any other coming to their feet.
They just walked through that one guy.
Oh, did they?
There's a guy standing there worshiping the
The
calf,
Pythia seemed afraid of them.
and they walked right through him.
Guards took her away.
Then the whispers were true. If this cult has corrupted the Pythia, This is devastating news. Do you understand what this means? Through her, the cult controls
Looks
the
so
world.
good.
I need to speak with her when she's not so well.
I'm ready for next gen.
That would require a
Hair
miracle
looks
from the gods.
weird. I want his beard to look as good as mine, which is impossible. No one's beard can look as good as mine.
Where can I find the Pythia?
You know more about the Pythia than I do. Where would she be?
When she's not in the temple of Apollo, she's at her home in the Hora of Delphi.
What does her home look
I
like?
can't go breaking down every door until I find her.
The Oracle's home is probably easy enough to spot. She'd be the only person in the Hora of Delphi.
Do the dialogue trees add anything to it?
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I'll get out of this one. And I'll talk in a second.
And I will get answers.
Cassandra, don't forget. Brute force is useless when finesse is required.
In 10 years, we're gonna say these graphics suck.
I know. Yeah, but they look at. No, I had this sequence where I was encountering a guy who had manipulated me, and I had to deal with it. And I went through the trees, and I chose some stuff, and then it ended up in a fight. And so I went back, and there was other options, and I could just jump right to the fight. So I ended up getting killed by his guards a few times. But I did find it interesting. I ended up in a fight every time, but I did find it interesting the different ways that we could get to that fight. So there was a lot of voice work, a lot of performance capture work, and a lot of written work to kind of get us to different branches. And when you look at the size of this thing and how much emergent stuff is happening as you're traversing through it's really fracking remarkable, man. I don't know what this lady's going to tell me. Let's see. She might send me on something.
Mistios. Well, aren't you a sight to my aged eyes? Young, energetic. Perhaps I should just pay for your body instead of your help.
What? I'm not that kind of mercenary.
Watch yourself.
She just
That's
wanted to have sex with me.
Oh, wow.
Forgive me. I'm amazed the
Now I wonder if
gods
it's the
would send me
same.
someone so
Does she say that to the male
well-suited
version of the
help
character?
me,
Probably.
but who is also so appealing to me
I would imagine
physically.
so.
I'm glad to hear it.
Korigos, my husband, is having some
Not that kind of
difficulties
mercenary.
keeping up with my hunger for...
They're like, you gotta take me out to dinner first.
I imagine any man would.
Oh, I have many lovers, but he's my
I just hope they
soulmate.
She
do
says
make
I have
a
many
Together,
lovers.
it's indescribable.
Tyler Fisher wants a follow-up to
Then don't
Bayek's
describe
story.
it.
When we were
To which
younger,
one?
we
The
would
guy from
run
the last
into
game,
moonlit
Origins.
forest, shed our
Origins
clothes
do.
Oh,
and
yeah.
pleasure each
They do.
other
All
until
of the Assassin's
sunrise.
Creeds are
Our
follow-ups to the
howls of
story.
ecstasy
Yeah.
would
Because it ends
echo
on a-
throughout the valleys.
We made the Assassin's Guild.
You're a feisty.
I
Oh,
hope
like
I'm
you
as
keep
feisty as
flirting
you
with
at
this
your
lady.
age.
I'm
If this were a Mass
feistier
Effect game, you'd
now
already
than
be in
I've
bed
ever
with her.
been.
What does this have to do with me?
I've learned of a powerful elixir, which, if consumed, will give someone the
Will
vigor
we do a
and
Let's Play in
stamina
chat of
Eros.
Marble?
Oh,
If you
she
can
just
gather
talked about
me the
an elixir that will work
ingredients,
like
I can make it for
Viagra.
my husband.
Oh,
Oh.
but they're women. They don't need Viagra.
Sam, I am. Let me know what Marble It Up is all about. I just read something about that thing, but I don't really know the game yet.
Why do you need Viagra? They're both women.
All right, I'll find the ingredients. If you promise to keep your nocturnal activities to yourself.
I have some drachmine, and Koragos has more. If you can bring me some bear scrotum and a deer tongue,
Bear
I
scrotum
can
is one of the
make
ingredients.
Oh, wow.
So I have to.
Is that all you need?
Don't worry, I'll reward
I
you
object to
well.
that. It's
I'm sure
gonna
Koragos will
spread
be
false
thankful
information.
also.
People are gonna go killing bears to make.
Okay, where will I find a bear?
Where can I find a bear near here?
I heard there's a cave near the sanctuary that
Well, there
a
was a dead
large
bear
male
up on
bear.
the hill.
Okay, I'll go get
I'll
the
be back with the
ingredients.
ingredients soon.
Okay, so that there's a lot of that where you can. I'll go to the quest line right there. So, clearly I haven't gone to talk to everybody, but when I do talk to different people, they send me out on stuff, and it's it's very much an RPG, right?
It's very much a Ubisoft game.
Yeah, because
Talk to a person now. Go find me these 5 items.
For
Yeah,
sure. I mean, that's standard RPG
that's,
stuff.
That's every Ubisoft game.
The inventory is pretty rad. I got this sword. I'll try not to talk too much about it because I don't want to spoil anything. But you can engrave stuff on them so that you can sort of not only just upgrade the equipment, but you can also engrave them to make them kind of personal and give them a new attribute as well. And so this one's got 4 fire damage.
What weapons can you get from the loot boxes?
I think you can buy stuff, yeah. You can go into the store. I haven't done any of that. I don't feel like I need to at all because there is so much stuff in this game. I haven't bought any equipment and I'm 12 or so hours into this thing. I've gone to the shops and I've sold stuff, and I've upgraded things, and I've engraved things, but I haven't said, look, I need that sword, or I need that. There hasn't been anything that I've been able to pick it up off of dead people that I've killed, or I found it in crates and things like that I've found in the camps that I've raided.
I wish you can't transfer your stuff from Origins.
No, I don't think so.
That'd be cool. Because at the end of Origins, I had a sword that would set people on fire every time I hit them with it.
That's cool.
And I want that sword in this game.
Okay, and there's also...
can you punch old ladies?
There's also, missions that you can go on here, bounties and stuff like that, so you can go and get some of these things. I haven't started to do tons of them because I want to be able to kind of see the story. But this is clearly a game meant... I think this is like a 200-hour game. Like, it just seems so massive.
Meant to be, this is what you're doing all winter.
Yeah.
This is their games of service. They're going to add to this for the next 2 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, this universe is so inviting. Like, I've had so much fun just tripping. And that was the other way that they set this up, too. Like, I've got all of the icons and stuff. Here, I'm just going to skip through here because I don't even...
So that was me through half of Origins. Okay, I'm done. Yep, keep talking. Yep, Scarab, blah, blah, blah.
I'll hunt down the priests. Okay, so I got another mission. Okay. Make it worth my while.
That's not the assassin way.
I'll find the priests. Okay, well, she's a mercenary right now.
Oh,
she's not an assassin. She's playing both sides of the table, the Athenians and the Spartans. And she's kind of out for herself right now, so she hasn't had that big...
She hasn't had her come to Jesus.
Yeah, the reveal of her value in this world.
You can't punch pedestrians and
oh yeah, you can kill them and then you can get into fights and things like that. I think what I'll do is I'll try
that was the best thing about the first game. You could just punch people.
Yeah, you can do that. Let's go.
Darwin S has a question. Would you recommend still picking up Assassin's Creed Origins even though this one is out?
Yeah, that actually, well, I'm kind of pre-reviewing it, but that's one of the things that I really dig about this is that it doesn't refute what's come with Origins at all. I do feel like Origins and Odyssey stand apart from the rest of the Assassin's Creed games, and honestly, there's so much thoughtful design and quality of life kind of improvements and aesthetic beauty in these two games that I feel like I would love Ezio's stories to be redone in this mode, because those games were amazing.
Didn't they remaster those already?
They did, but it's not to this level, Like,
you want a full remake?
Yeah, but maybe that's what we get in whatever the Assassin's Creed MMO or universe or whatever they do down the road. But there's been so much good work, but the technology of the time really sort of hampered where they could go. Remember, you would play the Assassin games on the 360 or PlayStation 3, and they would feel like so open and inviting, and you could do anything. But if you look back at them now, they have a lot of constraints, and they had a lot of repeating pieces and stuff. We're getting a lot closer to the dreams of Assassin's Creed right from the beginning in a game like this.
Yeah. One of my favorite things about Origins was when you infiltrate those bases.
Yeah.
There's one nearby. I saw it on the map. That's why I made me think of it. And you could be really stealthy, or it was up to you how you did it.
Yep.
And most of them, if you took your time, you could find a way to sneak in, kill the main guy, and then leave. So you'd only have to kill one guy to take the base.
Yes.
And that was always really fun. I think that was probably my favorite aspect of Origins.
Yeah, you can totally do that, and you can sort of equip your weaponry to help you be a better warrior or be a better assassin.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that hurts this game clearly is the fact that there are so many other assassin games.
They're just standing there. What's he doing? Is he glitch? Oh, he's praying.
Yeah, he's praying.
Okay.
No. I haven't seen too many big glitches or anything like that in this.
Well, it is an Assassin's Creed game, so you're bound to find a few.
It's so big.
Yeah, it's forgivable when the game is this massive.
Yeah. I'll get onto the boat after I do this, so you can see a little bit of the sailing. But
are you going to be able to finish this before Red Dead 2 comes out?
I don't know. I'm going to New York Comic Con on Wednesday. And so I'll play some Switch stuff and try to get some thoughts back on a couple of Switch games. And then I'm back in Toronto for EGLX.
Vic Rules 666 is asking, is this one out already? The last one didn't even come out that long ago.
It comes out tomorrow, and
yeah,
that's
feels like no, it comes out October 5th. This game.
Oh, October 5th. Okay.
Yeah, it feels like we get a new Assassin's Creed game every year. Didn't we just play a massive one like less than a year ago?
Yeah. I mean, that's what hurts the game. You know, like even when this was announced, I told some pals at UB, it's like, man, it looks incredible, but I'm still completing objectives and Origin.
When this was announced right before E3,
yeah,
like we had just finished Origins like 2 months before that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like, it doesn't help to have it out every year.
Yeah.
The other thing that hurts this franchise is the aliens.
What?
The aliens. The aliens are stupid and shouldn't be in the game.
Well, yeah, they're kind of hemmed in by a lot of the routines that they've put in. But I do like how much this mixes up the formula, you know? It's not just like every other Assassin's Creed game. It's very much an RPG now.
Oh, there's the king dude. You gotta stealth that guy. Get him.
Oh, I'm out of arrows. Okay, so I can go in. I don't know if I have any wood to make the arrows, but I'll try. You can craft. No, I don't have any. I'm out. Okay, so let's go do some sword
you
fighting.
shot him in the face with an arrow.
Yeah, but he's a level 11. And he's also the... Ooh, I got a dog fighting me.
Don't kill the dog.
Well, he's fighting me. I gotta do something.
Oh, you Spartan kicked him.
I Sparta kicked him, yeah.
Nice. Have you encountered Elias Texas's character?
Yes. At least I think it's him. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
She's on fire.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm leveled up, though.
Love it when you're fighting people who are on fire.
Come on.
Game Freak, how's
Oh, no!
Did you die?
Yes.
There goes your level up. How's the combat compared to Origins? Game Freak's asking. You talked about this earlier.
I'm loving the combat. They went to more of a Dark Souls kind of vibe with the trigger buttons for doing a lot of stuff, but
they did that with Origins though too, didn't they?
Yes. So they keep sort of tweaking. They're leaning into a lot of the sort of direction that they went with Origins. But it feels good. It feels really solid to kind of evade them and to pull off the special attacks. Like I've got the bull charge and the Spartan kick, the ability to zoom in with arrows. I'm sticking to a sword and the bow and arrow as much as possible. I'll try to...
What is this thing?
This is one of the ancient artifact things.
Oh, it's the alien thing.
Yeah.
Gotta get those aliens in there.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens.
Not saying it's not aliens. Okay, so why don't we go to the map?
Powder Keg. This is the Dark Souls of Assassin's Creed games, Vic 2018.
Yeah.
You just called it the Dark Souls of Assassin's Creed.
Well, they went with Dark Souls type combat. Okay, that's my ship there. I don't think I can fast travel. Can I? Yep, I can. Okay.
Okay, now here's the thing. I hate, Cranky Puss hates the ship combat. I never liked the ship combat.
Why Cranky Puss?
It's not my thing. It's never been my thing. I don't like it. Mm-hmm. And it bugs me that every Assassin's Creed game, because it's so popular, forces you to do ship combat. I would much prefer you'd be able to avoid it if you don't want to do it, or skip it if you don't want to do it.
Right.
So is the ship combat in this mandatory?
I don't know.
Because it was mandatory in Origins. You couldn't skip it, and it bugged me.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if it is. I've gone on a few battles. I like the ship
stuff. When I
stuff.
play an Assassin's Creed game, I want to climb buildings. I want to get in sword fights.
Right.
I don't want to drive around in a ship for
45
minutes.
Very particular.
Doing the same, boring, shoot them with a cannon, shoot them with a thing.
Helm's ready for you, Commander.
It gets old
Ooh, there's
after a while.
I have a target here.
I like driving the ship, but the ship combat bugs me. It's just not my thing.
What's left of her?
So I prefer it when they make it not a mandatory part of the game.
Okay.
Vic, did you get the bear scrotum?
Did I what?
Did you get the bear scrotum?
I did not. No, I gave up on that. I mean, this is also like if you have ADD, this is not a good game because there's a lot of stuff that you can just go off and do. Like right now, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of the boat? I have a quest below.
That's my conundrum with every one of the games.
Right.
How do I get out of this boat?
All right. Well, I want to stop. I guess I have to dock it.
Are you able to swim and go down anywhere you want?
Yeah.
Because that was the thing with Black Flag. I don't know if you remember. Like you couldn't just like dive anywhere you wanted.
No.
You could only dive in certain deserts.
Yeah. No. I think the underwater stuff is all open world too. Okay. Stop. Let go. Let go. Let go. How do I let go? Okay. Here we go. Let me out of this thing. There's a nearby quest. Okay, come on.
Tyler Fisher says, my favorite aspect of every Assassin's Creed game is 100%ing all the side content.
Please, I don't want to shoot. Let go of the boat. I don't want to be in the boat. How do I stop the boat?
Oh, what? You don't like ship combat?
No, I do, but there's a mission right there, right below, and I want to get off of the boat.
Hit circle?
Okay.
It's
on travel speed. Let go of the boat, man.
Hit the B button. Hit B.
No.
Can you just walk away from the...
No. It's pulling the boat back. I don't want that.
See what I mean?
Come on.
I hate this.
Let me off of the boat. I have a mission to get underneath the boat.
It's a third-person exploration game, and then they try to just kludge this ship mechanics into it.
Maybe there's a problem here. Maybe it's crashed on or something. But I want to stop and get this mission, which is right below me. Come on. I parked the goddamn boat over here before. Let me off. Let me off the boat. No, let me off the boat.
Fairmer says this series should have gone the God of War
Okay, here it
route.
is.
How did you do it?
I held the Y button down. Okay, so now I can go down. There's sharks down here.
Do it.
Okay. All right, there we go.
Fairmer is saying that they should have done God of War.
Shark right there. I can hide in the reefs though.
Oh, yeah, oh, that's cool.
Or in the plants.
Do you think they should have done God of War and like taken a 4-year break and sort of reinvented itself somehow?
There's a bit more. What do you mean with this?
Yeah, with Assassin's Creed.
Oh shit! I think they have.
I think they didn't really take a big enough gap. I think.
Loot treasure. Oh my goodness. I can still fight underneath the water. That's amazing. This is so beautiful. Okay, get out of the water though. You can't kill. Oh, I killed that shark.
Game Freak 84. I don't think Red Dead is gonna have a PlayStation VR mode. If there were, we probably would have heard about it by now. It does have that first-person mode, but I mean, they didn't. That was the rumor when they announced first-person in GTA 5, is that it could work in PSVR, but that never happened. So I don't know. Maybe it'll happen with Red Dead, but I haven't heard.
I killed this the other. Come on! Oh yeah, I'm a shark killer, guys. That's cool. I haven't killed any sharks yet.
Skin it. Let's get a soft leather hide.
Nice. Okay, now I've got to go and get one other thing up here. What is this? There we go. Loot that.
She can hold her breath for a really long time.
Yep. Sweet. Okay, so I completed a mission, did not know I was going to. Okay, now I've got to go back to, let's see, return to Galen. Okay. So where is he now? Right there?
I don't
yeah.
know.
Is that right? No, I beat that one.
Well, zoom out, maybe you'll see it.
Return. It's crewless. And this one is, yeah, crewless. Return to Gelen. Okay, so I'm gonna fast travel to this, which is kind of cool. This is such a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of what this game is. It's absolutely not fair. What time is it? 2 o'clock. Play another 15 minutes or so.
Okay. Comment. Where is this first comment? Yeah, Fairmer saying it was only a 1 year wait of no Assassin's Creed game between Origins and whatever that one.
Yeah, I think we were all a bit shocked that Ubi did that.
Yeah.
Right?
But they should have taken like a 2-year gap, and they should have had it. They shouldn't have done this a year later. They should take like a 4-year gap.
It's a beautiful enough next game.
I don't want to play another Assassin's Creed game until next gen.
Well, this is a beautiful enough next game that they could have waited till 20. But maybe that's what it is. It's next year, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So the next Assassin's
Creed
game.
This almost confirms it. The release of this game almost confirms it.
This is the last Assassin's Creed game on this console generation. And I'm good with that.
But
I don't want to play another one.
They may not have wanted to release this next year because we may get a next gen console next year.
No, I would bet that we would. I've expected that a while.
Yeah.
I think Sony's pretty much said that already.
Yeah.
They haven't like confirmed it, but like in investor meetings and stuff, they've kind of hinted that.
Okay. So this gives you an idea. One of the things that I really love about playing this game with all the nature around it is the way that you see how ancient civilizations or civilizations from long ago just lived with the overgrowth, you know? And there's just plants everywhere, and like cities are in trees, and it's really cool. It's not like the dystopian Last of Us kind of vibe where the overgrowth is taken over because there's no life left. It's thriving, but it's sort of in concert and in harmony with the nature all around it, which is really pretty. And this game really sells that very well.
Fairmer has a comment about the rumors about where this is going. This is the second game in a 3-part trilogy that is like prequel trilogies, I guess.
Okay.
Next year we're supposed to be getting an Assassin's Creed in feudal Japan.
Well, it won't be next year.
Yeah.
Next year they're doing the Atlantis, and they're adding like months of content to this.
Ubisoft has said they're not having one next year.
Yeah.
So maybe the feudal Japan one will be the one 2 years from now, which I predict will be on the next gen systems. Probably still on these as well, because it'll be both. But it'll run better on the next gen. That water is gorgeous.
It's absolutely
Look at the waves,
gorgeous.
and then it retracts through the rocks.
There's lots of photoreal moments in this.
Even GTA 5 doesn't do that.
It's great, man. Like it's really impressive what they've done with this game. I love this character too. She's super cool. You can see the scars in her face, and she feels human.
Hair physics are a little wonky though. But that's so cool how you can see the water. The main water retracts, and then you see the bit of water under the sand. There
was this little hiccup that the game had where the depth of field was kind of screwed up, and so everything was a little out of focus, except when I walked past a tree and the tree was super sharp in focus.
Yeah.
So I paused it, and then I went back to the game, and it all sort of corrected. But yeah, they have an amazing real-time depth of field thing going on in the game. So when you're whipping the camera around, it's so impressive. I'm telling you guys, like I played a lot of Assassin's Creed, and I thought I was just going to be like, oh, okay, but it's been really compelling.
Tasty Crayon is saying that these characters don't look Greek. They look more like Northern European.
Could, yeah. There are some...
I think Greeks back then would have been more dark, wouldn't they?
There is definitely some different kinds of Greek faces, and I think they honored it pretty well. And the voiceover stuff is pretty good too. You hear Malaka a lot. Malaka.
I mean, because like the way Greek people look today would not be the way they would have looked back then.
So I've already done this leader house. I've done this one already. I've already done this pilgrim. I've been in that area for hours. Okay, I was going to show you a little bit of the ship stuff, just for Cranky Puss. Well, should I go on a mission?
I don't hate the ship. It's just that like in Origins it was annoying because you'd be going about an objective and then it's like, oh, you have to do a ship mission now. It kind of pulls you out of what you're doing because it was separate story beats with the ship thing where you were playing as his wife and then you had to be in the ship. And I was like, well, shit, I had all this stuff I was planning on doing that I was looking forward to going and doing. But it's like, no, you've leveled up to this point, so now you have to have a side story mission where you're just in a ship, and you have to do that. It's like, I don't like being forced to do something I don't want to do.
Sure.
Especially when it's so different from what the rest of the game is.
Oh, these guys are going to... I already took those guys out.
You can just run by them.
Yeah.
Let them be.
I'll call Phobos. Let's go.
Tyler Fisher says Ubisoft does massive research on everything, so as close to factually accurate as possible. Yeah, that's true. They're pretty. I mean, they're not. I mean,
look at this, guys.
They still embellish because it's a game.
Look at this freaking game. This is
all about the research.
This is running on the S through one of those capture devices external through a MacBook Pro, and it still looks incredible.
I mean, is it that much better than other games we've played, though, Vic? I mean, it looks. I agree, it looks beautiful, but I'm not.
Well, what I really want, I can't wait to compare this to Red Dead 2. You know.
I'm gonna be honest. This is not taking my breath away, Vic.
No.
I love the way this looks. It looks gorgeous, but compared to other games we've played, compared to Origins, compared to Assassin's Creed, or compared to GTA 5, compared to Spider-Man, this does not look that much better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Spider-Man's a pretty.
I'm not sitting here going, "Oh my god,"
apropos, because it's so current. I'm really looking forward to comparing this to Red Dead.
Yeah, Red Dead. The trailers for that make me go, "Oh my god!" I'm looking at it and go, "Okay, this looks like a very good current gen game, getting the most out of current hardware."
Right.
This is not making me lose my shit. But that's fine.
Again, though, that's I think because there's been so many.
Oh, there's a goat.
Yeah.
Go pet the goat.
I don't know if I can.
Pet the goat.
No, I cannot. Cannot pet the goat.
Can't pet the goats. 4 out of 10.
Taking 0.5 off. Okay. So there's House of Pythia.
Oh, Vic Rules has a good question. Can you go anywhere you want?
I love his name. It's the best username that we have.
Can you go anywhere you want from the get-go, or is it like you have to unlock certain areas first?
You can go anywhere you want, but you'll get killed a lot because you're not powered. This is an RPG. You really have to level up, and you got to level up your gear, and you got to find good stuff. Looks like there's a lion out there working for stuff. Now
you ain't lying. There's a lion.
Find and interrogate the Oracle.
Probably up top somewhere.
Okay,
right?
and the bird thing makes even more sense in this game too. I've noticed.
Why is that?
I think because there's more. There's a lot more hidden stuff, and there's a lot of foliage, and it's just more stuff in the way. So that bird's eye view really comes in handy.
Who's the Oracle? Which one is the Oracle? I don't think you're supposed to fight them, Vic.
Oh. Now die!
You stabbed that guy in the neck.
Oh, run!
Run away! Run away!
Wow. Oh, I'm out of arrows. And I have no wood to make more arrows.
I don't think those guys are the Oracles, though.
No. I gotta beat these guys. These are mercenaries that I gotta kill.
Who's that laying there in the...
They're not that strong, so I should be able to wipe them out. Oop, nope. There we go. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh!
Yeah, Taz, you're right. I hope that touchpad on the PS4 controller is gone on PS5. That thing is stupid and no one ever uses it.
Oh no!
Just run away, Vic. Run away.
Okay.
Run away.
Don't you just give up?
I am. I'm giving up.
Run away.
Run! Oh, they're calling me a fucking coward.
Are they yelling at you right now?
Yeah, they're totally swearing. I met this lady that was like super pissed, and she was just swearing up a storm. and it was a phenomenal dialogue tree. It was great. It was so sassy. I need some arrows. Alright, let's go get these guys. There's vultures that come after the dead bodies.
Fairmer, yes, we're playing this on the Xbox One X.
S.
S.
Yeah. I might stream some this week, just well, in the next couple days, just off of the X on Twitch. So I'll definitely tweet it out if I'm doing that. It's a pretty cool game to share. But it is also one of those story-based, like, it's just fun to get lost in it too. Uh-oh.
Yeah, are the horse testicle physics as in-depth as
No. I got right down in there on the horse testicles.
Yep.
No shrinkage, no growage. Is growage a word? No.
It is now.
Okay.
I mean, it's 2018.
Yeah.
Horse testicles need to shrink and, you know, get bigger. That's a question for Cyberpunk.
Yes.
Because there's frontal nudity in that game.
Right.
If you walk around naked and it's cold, is there going to be shrinkage?
Right.
Or if you're a woman, is there going to be nipple hardage?
Right.
Because these are important things.
Don't boys get?
Or I guess men.
Nipples?
Yeah, men get nipple hardage.
I have nipples.
You got something purple.
Yeah.
But, I mean, these are next gen questions, right?
Next gen questions. We want to be able to zoom in on nipples.
I want to see
and
my
see
penis
them.
get smaller on my character. Even if it's not frontal nudity, if I'm wearing like pants, I want the package to get smaller if it's cold out.
Okay. Oh, come on!
I told you not to fight those people.
God damn. Okay.
It sucked. Didn't you say 2:15? Did you say 15 minutes or 25?
Okay. Well, I gotta beat this damn thing. I gotta talk to this oracle here.
Aren't you supposed to use the bird to find where the oracle is?
Another 15 minutes. I think it's the oracle's in that area there.
But the bird, the reticle thing gets like bigger when you look. Have you done that in this game yet? Like
yes.
it goes like.
Yeah,
the music changes when you get it.
Yep.
Is that how you're supposed to find the oracle?
I thought it was here. I had the icon right over this.
Oh, it didn't.
You know, that's what I was starting to talk about, but I stopped my line of that's what this game does. It's like, oh, squirrel. You can choose to play the game without all of the icons all over the place. You can choose it to play it sort of exploring, and then you discover using Ikaros, your bird, and just, you know, walking or riding into areas, you start to uncover what's going on in the map. And I think that's the better way to play it. I can't play it that way though, because I don't have the time. I'm not going to see anything. Like I tried doing that for my first 5 hours, and I'm like, God, I don't know where anything. Like, it's taking forever to go and find
it. It's
everything.
like trying to find things in real life.
Yeah, but
so stay hidden and get your bird out though, Vic. You must be able to know
right
where
there.
this. But you must be able to find.
She's right there.
But look, look, Vic. There's an arrow.
No, this is pointed to something else though.
Are you sure?
Yeah, there's stuff everywhere, man.
Okay. What? So that's not the oracle?
No.
That purple thing. What was the dude sitting out back? Remember we saw him under that green tarp?
There's like.
There's like a dude laying down chilling, or he's dead or something.
Oh yeah, I killed him earlier. I've been here before.
Oh, okay.
I keep coming into these areas and wiping everybody. That's why I've seen so little of the map. Is that like I keep coming back and there's. Oh, you're not dead. Stab. Oh, here we go.
Oh, there's the oracle.
There we go.
Oh, you found it.
Okay.
Guards! I'm not here to hurt you. I just want answers. The Pythia is a sacred vessel of the gods.
You can also, Jordan Cunningham's pointing out, you can also play God of War like that with no HUD.
Right.
That would make more sense because it's a bit more linear than this.
Swift. Guards!
I'm the one who knocks.
Enough with your lies.
Are the question? Are the Xbox One X enhancements available at launch or patched in later? They must be at launch.
They just patched it. When I first started playing it, no HDR, but then they patched it, and it's like gorgeous. So it'll be out there at launch.
I'm dead already. They'll find out.
Did they
you're
ever
here,
not launch with the Xbox One X enhancements anymore?
Yeah, Origin. Oh, now no. Yeah, now they don't.
Well, that's for you. They don't because you get them early.
Not always, yeah. Sometimes they patch them in after because I get it early. Sometimes they come a little.
Yeah, but I'm saying like by launch day.
Yeah.
pretty much every game that has 4K is going to have it by launch day, right?
Usually what they do is, like, even if I get review code to review the game, but the patch for the HDR and all the extra stuff isn't ready to go, that goes out to the reviewers and the general public all at the same time. And usually that's at least a couple of days before launch.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
But sometimes it wouldn't
It'd be weird to have it
Sometimes it's
happen
on the
after
day.
launch.
What is the Cult of Cosmos?
What is this cult of Cosmos? They are the eyes that see but go unseen.
Blade Blur, yeah, we had your tweet in the show earlier
names.
today.
I don't know.
About the,
I swear.
the
They
mind wipe
hide
thing.
behind masks and shrouds. You said you saw me in your visions. What did you see?
Did you customize her appearance at all, or is that just...
Well, you're constantly getting new gear.
No, but I mean, like, her eye color and stuff. Did you
No.
change any
Called
of
me
that?
the
That's
child on the mountain.
Her eyes are like
cult hunts a
orange.
Spartan child who
They look
survived
really
the
kinda
terrible
odd.
fall from Mount Aietos.
I don't know, is that an ancient Greek thing?
I think it's
artifact
a
revealed that
rendered
child
off. That's the colors are not right on that television.
Oh, okay.
At all.
Okay.
Why would you work for the cult? I have no choice. So, all those prophecies from the gods.
Taz nipples
all
got
those
flagged.
people. You're paid to deceive them all? Most want to know about love or death. I tell them what they want to hear.
Her mouth looks
But
a
when
little
people
weird.
want
Blade
to know
Blur,
about
absolutely
war
right.
or
Celeste is
politics,
incredible. More people
I'm
need to
paid
know
very
about that
well
game.
To tell them what the cult wants them to
Does her
hear.
mouth look weird to you? The Oracle lady?
You have an
I'm really
opportunity to
impressed.
do
I mean,
the
it's
right
got a
Her
Tell
mouth
me where
movement
to
looks
find
weird
the
to me.
cult.
it's got a stylized look to it, but it's also got a very human look to it too. Like, it feels great. Like, I'm really
Tell
impressed
me
with the
where
art
they
for this
are,
game.
or we'll go find them together. Beneath the Temple of Apollo, there is an ancient chamber. I think they meet there. But without one of their
Oh,
cloaks and
you're not
masks,
hearing anything,
you
and I
won't
think
make
that's
it more
part
than
of it
2
as well.
steps
What's
inside.
that?
Well, when you hear
Why
the
can I
voices,
find one of
yeah,
those
they're coming out of the mouth, so you're
Yeah,
not really
makes more
focused
sense.
on just,
Yeah.
you know, the nuance
Make
of
sure
the
are well
animation.
taken care of.
You're hearing it.
I have the biggest house in the horror
Maybe
of
that's a good
Delphi,
thing.
Yet he's still afraid
Well,
of
I mean,
me
that's
for
how
my
you
troubles.
cheat in any storytelling, whether
Gives
it's
me the
a
creeps.
movie or
What's his name?
a game or whatever. you
El
know.
Pinor. El Pinor? He's with the cult? I can't be sure. But if he is, he would definitely have what you require.
What's she telling you about?
I sent El Pinor
Is
to
she
the
wanting to
underworld.
have sex with you as well? Like,
I need a
No,
mask
she's
and
sending me
strip from
to
his corpse would
somebody
come in
who's with
handy.
the cult and who's going to have
Now
some
go.
answers. The
You
Cult
bring
of
nothing
Cosmos.
but darkness with you.
And
What-
she says, "Go. You bring nothing but darkness with
what
you."
year does this take place, Vic?
I don't know, 335 BC or something like that.
I should tell
So is it
Herodotus what the
before
Pythia told
Origins?
me about the cult.
No, I think it's
Maybe
after.
he'll have some insight.
Or concurrent, maybe even. Okay, let's go kill this
Nobody
guy.
has any respect for our...
Oh, he's punched him in the dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely ill-fated. He got no dick.
Come on. Oh!
His buddies are helping.
No, no arrows. All right.
Chalcon, the ill-fated.
Now, what was the other one? Was there another one here?
There was somebody...
Did I get her?
You fought them earlier. I don't know if she's still there.
Map. I think she's gone. Okay.
Jordan Cunningham is saying that Spider-Man had better facial animations.
Yeah.
It's a different engine, right?
Yeah, totally, yeah.
Does Ubisoft, what do they use? Unreal?
It's their Snowdrop.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They have their own.
It's all proprietary.
Yeah.
I interviewed the head of Ubisoft Winnipeg, who's working, they're kind of like an external development group for all of the development that happens across the world, and they're definitely looking at smarter practices to not rebuild trees over and over and over again for each of their games. Like, they're really looking at how to create persistent worlds you know, those huge open worlds that will work for a multitude of different titles.
They already kind of do that with a lot of their games, like the Far Cry games. There was a controversy, I think, with Far Cry 4 because it was reusing the map from like one of the previous games.
Far Cry Primal.
Yeah, and it kind of like they just took the same map and retooled it.
Something like that, yeah.
It's like who cares? Like no one would. And most people are never even going to notice that. And
it's kind of smart. Like I would
yeah,
rather.
It's a more efficient way of developing.
Yeah, cool new story. Like with Spider-Man. That's what my comment was with Spider-Man. It's like, what, do we have to wait another 4 years until we get another one of that caliber?
This is a big controversy. Did you know that the developers of Spider-Man stole their map from the city of New York?
From Google's map of New York City?
They didn't invent the city of New York. Did you know that they stole it from real life?
So I went and talked to this Oracle, did not pay attention, but I completed a quest and I got a new helmet.
And you got a whole bunch of XP.
And the Serpent's Lair. So one cool thing, actually I'm not going to say that. I'll let you discover that. But I saw a little bit of there's like a fantasy streak through this. So you got your sci-fi bit, you got your ancient sort of historical stuff, and then there's also the fantasy lore, which was also part of Origins as well. And I saw a little...
aliens.
Well, fantasy though.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know, like mythology and stuff.
So Zeus and stuff.
Yeah, I saw a little nod to that in one of the areas that I ran through.
What real life historical people are in this game? Is like Plato?
I don't know yet. I haven't really run into anybody that I know. Okay, so the Daughters of Artemis, I think, is a pretty straightforward one. She wants me to go and kill a boar.
Yeah, that's a Ubisoft game.
I have to be 13. I have to be level 13 though to go do it. Let's see what my quests are. Sorry. So you're doing a lot of this. This is the game. You're going into your quests, which get longer and longer. So the Serpent's Lair. Talk to Herodotos. Okay, so he's got to be not too far. Oh, there's the other mercenary. I gotta go kill her.
No, sneak up and at least and get.
She's gone.
Oh, no. Well, that's half her health, right?
But she was already there, wasn't she?
She has a nice weapon too. I like those spears. I remember that in Origins. They felt really like because they're ranged, right? So you have to be right up to the person. It's harder to defend yourself, but you don't have to get right close to the person.
I love doing the Spartan kick.
So, are you a Spartan or ancient Greek?
I'm a mercenary.
Oh, okay, so you don't care.
Yeah.
Where did she go?
I killed her. I knocked her right down.
You got to loot her though. Where did she go?
Okay, mercenary. So these are the different ones that I've killed there. So I killed her and I killed this guy right there. So it's kind of like the Nemesis mode in the Lord of the Rings games. And then you're also outfitting your ship, and you pick up enough stuff, and you can add to your arsenal. I have an ability point that I can unlock here. Let's choose this one. What is this? Venomous attacks?
You can't do that one yet.
Yep.
Oh, you can.
There we go. So let's go P. Boom. Okay.
Did you find her body though? You want to take her weapon.
Right.
She had a nice spear. All right, can you only hold so many?
Where'd she go?
You kicked her so far. Is that her there?
Where?
Go back. Back the way you were right there. Is that her?
Could be, yeah. She went like right down the mountain. Got it. Hunter's Hood. Oh, a new mercenary discovered. Okay. Where do I want to go? I want to go see this dude. Serpent's Lair.
Blade Blur saying it's weird that stealth kills don't automatically kill enemies or impact little damage as they do. Yeah, that was a controversial thing with Origins.
That's the RPG.
It's the RPGness of it. I kind of hate that because like if I stab someone in the neck, I don't care how high level they are, they should be dead.
That's the RPG though. They're totally leaning in that direction.
And I hated the Division for that same reason too. Like, if I shoot someone in the head,
yeah,
I don't care if they're the strongest enemy in the game and I have the weakest gun in the game. If I shoot them in the head, they should be dead.
It just makes the leveling up and the equipment collection and all that stuff a lot more fulfilling by taking that choice. And I totally get it. I used to drive me nuts as well. It sort of turns the combat into a little bit more of a cartoony kind of quality, I feel.
It makes it feel less realistic.
Like Zelda, but Dark Souls is the same kind of thing too, right? Like you're knocking off hit points, you're not just killing people.
But at least they're monsters that you're fighting.
Yeah.
If I'm fighting a person, it doesn't work as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably my only complaint with Origins, other than the aliens.
Right.
Combat.
They couldn't go to ancient Egypt, even if it wasn't Assassin's Creed, and not have aliens.
Yeah.
They had to.
When you go under the pyramid, it wasn't as obtrusive though as it was, because it was just like, I knew when I went underneath the pyramid that I was gonna find alien stuff. Like I just knew I would. So.
Sorry guys, force coming through.
They did a drive-by horsing.
Yeah.
You're horsing around.
Yeah. There's a goat. Okay. The clumsy assassin is walking around, knocking over people.
They're not ones for subtlety, are they?
Where do I gotta go? Right down here. Okay, alright.
But you were just there.
This guy. Okay. Serpent's Lair. Here we go.
So.
You said you wanted to be done at 2:30?
Yeah, what time? What do we got?
It's 2:30 now.
2:30? Okay.
Finish this mission or?
Yeah.
Keep my clothes for me?
Best not to go in with your weapons either. I don't think they'll look too kindly on that.
No shrinking balls.
Blade Blur, you want me to sing a little bit more when I play it?
How do I look?
Okay, this turned into Eyes Wide Shut all of a sudden.
Good.
Here we go.
Find me once you found out the truth in there.
Jordan Cunningham is saying that the earlier Assassin's Creed games had more realism, except for the fact that if you touched water, you died.
Mm-hmm.
That was stupid.
Oh, that moon just went.
Yeah.
Boop.
Yeah, you're gonna go have an orgy with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman.
Let's go see, yeah.
These ridiculous costumes were a good
Hear the
idea.
chanting.
Yeah, the weird
sex
music
chanting. The blood of virgins. Oh, jeez.
Well, the Templar. There's already the Templars in the game, so there's already like, conspiracy theory shit about that.
Right. I think this might be where I learn about the assassin, the Order of Assassin, or whatever they called it in ancient Greece.
Are these not the Templars though?
You're late.
These look like bad guys.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Are they gonna tell you about the aliens?
I don't know.
Sorry, it's my
This could be major spoiler.
new recruit.
Kalima. Way to go, Blabler. I think that's it. I don't think
I'm. Spoil?
No.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah, I think that's it. I will. I am playing some more tonight because I'm going to talk about this tomorrow. So I will Twitch stream some from my Xbox X, and we can. If you want to watch some more, you can. Okay? Because it's kind of fun. Because it's amazing, but it's also time consuming and a little lonely playing Assassin's Creed. You know what I mean? Like you're just. I like the story. I know you skipped through everything. I like the story bits, but I feel like I'm down there alone by myself in my cave playing Assassin's Creed for a long time. So I will share a little bit today. But that's it.
Bye everyone.
That's it for now. I'm gonna pause this, and I can't. Let's see. Maybe I can get out of this.
I'll go talk to the others. Thank you.
Yes, before Demos comes.
Okay, I'm just gonna get out of this thing. So I have to save this because this is my actual game here. Okay, so boom. And we're gonna save. Boom. And we are overwriting. Boom. All right. And turning that off. Thank you guys. Thank you all for watching our show today. I hope you guys had a good time. If you want a good date night, I think that A Star Is Born flick is going to be a pretty solid night out. I had a good time. I went with my wife, and we both had a good time. We've been singing the songs. Definitely keep your eyes out for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's impressed me so far. I'll have some more thoughts tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back again tomorrow with a brand new EP live for you. Remember, we've got lots of other content for you to check out. I know you haven't watched everything we've put up there. What have we done? 260 This Day and Everything Cool videos so far? Something like that, yeah, go watch all of those, okay? Every day something cool has happened. But yeah, if you do watch our content, make sure that you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, that little bell if you're so inclined. And there's also the join button if you want to join the EPN community. Thanks for watching, everybody. Play forever.